next level. Make sure y'all get your pens, your notepads, taking notes, because we talking about that self-care checklist. We're also doing our tax care checklist. Make sure you check in with Ofwani Legal Group, our sponsors for today's episodes, and we're taking it to the next level. We got the Empress Sharifa. We have a mental health series that's been taking people to the next level. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Check that out because this is what you need to take yourself higher in vibration, in tone, in frequency. Too many of us are living below on our energy. So without further ado, let's talk to the Empress Sharifa, and she's going to talk to you all about the self-care checklist. Get in there, sister.
Greetings, beautiful ones. I am the Empress Sharifa, and I am a mental health advocate. As I've said on previous times that I've been on your platform, that's something that's near and dear to my heart because I have had difficulties with mental health issues, depression, panic attacks, and so I've made it and it's been I want to say a divine assignment that I've received from the Most High to continuously talk about mental health, how important it is, how important it is, and so this is something that I'm going to keep doing. You're going to keep hearing it. I don't feel like we hear it enough, right? We don't hear it enough. People are talking about it. I'm excited about that. The people are, more open to talking about it. But you never can. I don't feel like you could talk about it enough. You know what I'm saying? Because based on the last video, if we look at the percentages of women mental health, we still need to talk about it. We still need to be aware of what's going on in our community, right? So I'm delighted to be here. I'm delighted to be a part of the Lovepreneurship family. I've learned so much quickly on this path in this group, and I'm excited for what's to come. And I'm excited about some new projects that we have. With my concerning my program, Level Up with Care, that Brother Michael's been talking to me about, and I appreciate the support, and I'm gonna say the love, because this is about love. The appreciate, the support, the love. Support is love, right? Just an encouraging word. That's love, right? Someone that has good intentions for you. That's love. And so, I feel the love, and I know that I'm a part of something very special. So I just want to say that first.
Amen, amen.
And go ahead,
Amen,
Mike.
amen.
Yes. And so, and again, they want to see me, be successful and take this coaching program to the next level, and level up with care, right? That's the
Come on.
name of my coaching program, right? So I too, right, need to make sure that I'm leveling up with care as well, right? Makes sense. I gotta, believe in that too, right? And walk the course before I can be able to let everybody else, guide everyone else on this journey, right? So yeah, so I'm
Good
excited to
job,
be here.
sister.
Yes, and
Good
so
job, good
today.
job.
Yeah, and so today I have my self-care checklist. And today, mental health, self-care, it can get heavy, right? It can get so heavy, and some people feel like there's so much to do to be able to heal, or to be able to get their mental health in order. And it's sometimes it doesn't take a whole lot. I don't want to discourage you and make you feel like it's difficult. On this healing journey and monitoring yourself, your mental health. It's not that difficult. It can be heavy, but I don't want you to be discouraged. This is something that you do, that you take day by day. Today I have my self-care checklist. We're going to lighten it up a little bit, and just want to encourage you and let you know that it's not complicated, right? There are small things, subtle things that you can do on this journey to help improve your mental health, to help improve for you, right? So we're gonna get into it. And you
And
see
as
my
she's getting into it, look at the background because we're talking about that self-care checklist. Make sure y'all get y'all pen, notepad, like, share, subscribe. Send this to somebody that you know needs to take care of themselves. We are in a day and time where people aren't being told what they need to do to take care of their mental health. And we need to do that, take that more seriously. So without further ado, get in there, sister.
Okay. And you see, I have the Black family behind us because this is this is very important for everyone, the mother, the father, and the children. Lovepreneurship. We talk about the mother, the father, and the child. This is the focus. That's the focus, and so it all comes together. My belief systems and yours, which is why it's just so it's easy, right? It's easy. Okay.
Talk to him.
Okay. So all right. Taking care of your mental health starts with checking in with yourself daily. Simple actions like resting, eating, staying hydrated, and connecting with others can make a big difference in how you feel. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself. Listen to your needs and remember that small acts of self care are powerful. Small acts of self care are powerful. It don't have to be this big thing, this big announcement. Just small acts can be life changing for you, right?
Amen.
Okay, so the first item on the checklist is how are you feeling? How are you feeling? Take a moment to check in with yourself. Your feelings matter. And especially with my men, it's okay. Take a moment, check in with yourself every day. How am I feeling? Right? Because your feelings do matter. They do, and we care about you. Your feelings matter. Pushing emotions to the side only builds up stress. So let yourself feel what you need to feel. You don't have to be tough. It's okay to be confused. It's okay to not know the answer, right? You don't have to know the answers all the time. It's okay. It's okay to feel vulnerable. It's okay to feel and people say, I don't like to say like weak. I don't like to use that word, but it's okay to feel like you don't have it together, right? It's okay because you don't have to have it all together. You're not here to have to figure out those things and have to have everything together. You're human. You know what I'm saying? And I know we say that we are gods. We are. But we still human. You understand what I'm saying? We in meat suits. We got meat brains. We're still human. Checking in with yourself helps you recognize what's affecting your mood and what you might need to feel better. Okay, so checking in with yourself is very important. Make it a priority. It's not just for women to do, this is for men too. Okay, all right. Next on my checklist, did you get any rest? Okay, we started out, with checking in with yourself. Now, these are simple steps, you guys, and this don't have to be so heavy, like I said. Did you get any rest? Sleep is your body's way of recharging. Without it, both your mind and body struggle to function at their best, right? And so I said, you feeling like, oh, I'm tripping, I'm losing my mind. Sometimes you just need a good night's rest. You need to go to sleep because sleep deprivation hinders your mental health. It hinders your mental, and even if you're not dealing with a mental illness, it can still, hinder your mental. It's gonna make you feel like you do. It's gonna have you. You're gonna be off, right?
That's right.
So make sure, yeah. So make sure you're sleeping. Um, and we've heard these things before. But I'm reiterating it for you, just reminding you, right? That these are things that you need to focus on. It's the little things. Lack of rest can make you moody, drained, and unfocused. Now, think about children, whether you have children, nieces and nephews, grandchildren. You see how they act when they get sleepy and then when they need a nap. Michael, right? Daily,
Facts.
how and you just look and they just doing stuff, right? Just in stuff, doing stuff, meddling with stuff, just and you just sit back and you look and you say, he's sleepy. He need a nap, right?
Yeah, that's my son.
He needs a nap. And so instead of you like, spanking him or whatever your disciplinary actions are or going off, you'll be like, go lay down. Or you go lay him down. You know what I'm saying? So take notes from the children. This is you in an adult body. You need a nap, right? You are drained, right? You're moody. You need to go to sleep, right?
That's
And
good.
rest isn't just sleep, right? Rest isn't just sleep. Taking breaks during the day is just as important. Men, take those breaks. Take those breaks. Refocused. Take them breaks. Don't work through your breaks. that affects your mental health. Or you feel like I'm being late, I don't feel like a man. I'm being lazy. I'm taking breaks. No, take those breaks. Take them. You deserve them. You earn them. Take them. Okay. Next on the checklist, have you eaten yet? Food is fuel. Eating regularly helps keep your energy up and keeps your mood steady. Right? Remember, these are the basics, right? The basics of mental health. This checklist is so simple and easy to follow. And it just gives you things to think about, like, oh yeah, because you so busy working and you're dealing with life and you're dealing with children, you're so busy everywhere. There's just these little things that you've kind of forgotten because you're so busy in your own world, right? Okay. Skipping meals can make you feel sluggish, irritable, or anxious. Sluggish, irritable, or anxious. And that anxiety, it could just be you just need to eat, right? You sluggish, you irritable. And I remember that Snickers commercial where them people, they're always acting off until they get the candy bar right, then they good. You know what I'm saying? This applies to you too. You know what I mean?
That's good. See,
Yeah,
you're not you when you're hangry.
you're
It's
right.
like right.
Right. Yes. Hangry is a real thing, right? It's a real thing. Stop skipping those meals, man. Fueling your body with nutritious food helps maintain your energy, focus, and overall well-being. It's just as simple as that, right? Now, this one is very important. We talked about this on the last show. Have you drank your any water? Have you drank any water today? Dehydration can cause headaches, tiredness, and brain fog. Right? Look, and brain fog. And so you can't think, you forgetting stuff. You're in this fog. A lot of us experience that. A lot of times it could be because you're dehydrated. Dehydration affects mental health. Make sure you're drinking water. I keep my water. Keep my water. This is my love cup. Everything is love. Lovepreneurship, love cup. Everything is love. Love always wins. Love always wins. Always, always. And I know that for sure. I know it. Water keeps your body functioning properly and helps with focus. You wonder why you can't focus. You all over the place. Sometimes you just need a glass of water. Okay. And if you haven't had water, take a sip now. Drink some now. Okay. Your body will thank you. Yes. All right. Next, next item on my checklist is, have you taken care of your personal hygiene today? Okay. Have you taken care of your personal hygiene today? A simple shower, brushing your teeth, or changing clothes can lift your mood. It'll make you feel better. I know sometimes, we sometimes, like if you haven't taken a shower in a day, I get it. Sometimes, you just don't feel like you in the bed. You might have had a day two. Okay. Day three, you might need to think, you already need to be, you need to go back to the other steps. That's 1, 2, 3. You need to be checking in with your emotions, right? You need to be making sure you've eaten. You need to make sure you're drinking water, because there may be something going on mentally, that you're not aware of. That's why checking in is very important. Because if you feel like something is off, if you don't feel like yourself today, this is why we're going through these steps, so that you can be aware. It's about self-aware. This self-care checklist is about self-awareness, being aware of yourself, being aware of your mind, being aware of your body. You have to have self-awareness, right, of yourself before you can be aware of anybody else, right, and anybody else's needs, right? All right, so a shower, brushing your teeth, or changing clothes can lift your mood and make you feel better. Maintaining personal hygiene is a simple way to show yourself care and respect. That small step, maintaining your hygiene, is a simple way to show yourself care and respect. How do you care for yourself? You keep yourself clean. How do you honor yourself? You maintain your hygiene. How do you respect yourself? right? You do these things, you're not going to deal with anybody who does not do this, right? And this is just a small people. Like, how do I love myself? How do I respect myself? This is just one easy step. Keep it, maintain a hygiene. That's not hard. You don't have to read a book about it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to ponder on it, right? Caring for yourself, even in small ways, can create a sense of stability and emotional balance. Okay, I keep telling, it's the small things, it's the little things. Some things, we forgot, we don't focus on anymore. Okay, next thing on my list is, have you talked to anyone today? Have you talked to anyone today? Connection is important. We're not meant to go through life alone. Sometimes, you're dealing with things, and I know, and sometimes you're gonna go back into your in your cocoon, and you're gonna, need that quiet time in that space. Anybody check in, see what's going on. If you haven't bathed, you haven't talked to anybody, you skipping, you haven't eaten, check in, see what's going on, right? Even a short conversation with a friend, a family member, a stranger can brighten your day. You ever been to the store, been to the grocery store? It might be an old man, he can, you just say, hey, how you doing? Have a good conversation. It can make you feel so much better. Sometimes people be dealing with, you think you're dealing with something, and you meet somebody, just a stranger out in the street, they could be dealing with so much more than you. And you'd be like, dang, I thought life was bad for me, You just never know what people are going through. So talking to strangers, it definitely makes you feel good. And just, me, I like to compliment. Hey, how you doing? Like, you look good in that. Come on, you handsome. I like, just that. It makes me feel good to see them feeling good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes when I'm not feeling good, I get out of my own head. Sometimes when you're going through stuff, get out of your own head and focus on someone else. Maybe someone else needs help with something. Maybe they need help with something. They need an encouraging word. You know what I'm saying?
That's facts.
Yes. And if you need support, don't hesitate to reach out. People do care about you. People do, and sometimes I think that's like, that's the trick. There's an energy that always want to make you feel like you're alone, right? That you have no one to talk to. You always have someone to talk to. You do. If you got to talk to your higher self, your ancestors, your spirit guides, they're always around. You can always have them come to you and talk to them. Okay, you're never alone. Never. And people say never. No, you're never alone. I can say that. Never alone. You always have somebody to talk to. Okay. Another item on my checklist is, have you been outside today? Have you been outside? Sometimes you've been in the house too many, you haven't bathed, you've been in the house too long, and you need to check in. Have you been outside today? Fresh air and sunshine boost your mood and energy levels, right? A short walk or sitting outside can help clear your mind. Just going outside on a porch and just sitting out there. Even if it's cold, you know what I'm saying? Just throw a blanket on, sit outside for a few minutes, just reflect or just release. Just be like, I just want to clear my mind. I don't want to think about nothing right now. I just want to sit in this space, this space of serenity, right? It's important. Nature has a way of grounding you. So step outside if you can. Like I said, even if it's cold, go to the backyard, walk around a little bit. You connect with nature. You have to. Like, you're gonna feel so much better. That was talking about hugging trees. I'm a tree. I'm a tree hugger. I'm a tree hugger, right? Hug a tree. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so important to just get outside for a little bit. Even if it's just 10, 15 minutes every day, just get outside. Look up in the sky. Sometimes we're so busy looking down, right? We're so busy looking down on our phone, right? So busy looking down, some look up. Look up sometime and see, look up. Remember we were kids but I still do. You know how you look in the clouds and you see those shapes, you see different things. You're like, oh, that looks like, look up. Look up. Sometimes you got to go back to the kid space,
Amen.
Got to go back to that.
That's good.
Okay. Um, Next on my checklist. Are you being patient with yourself? And that's the most important. This healing journey is not a 5K, it's not a sprint, right? It's no rush to get through it. It takes it's step by step, day by day, right? Day by day. That's it. Be patient with yourself. Don't compare yourself, your journey to someone else, because this person may, they may have already been what you've been through. They've already been through that cycle. You might just be starting your cycle. They might have already done 3 cycles, and they're finally, getting that level up, right?
That's good.
Go through it. Worry about yourself, right? Be patient. Don't be so hard on yourself. This is not a right or wrong thing, right? It's not a right or wrong. Or if there's no specifics. This is my checklist. This is what works for me. This is what have worked for other coaching clients that I've had. These are just suggestions, but there's no perfect, way to do this. Do it to the best of your ability, right?
That's good.
So are you being patient with yourself? Be kind to yourself. Healing, growth, and progress takes time. As with anything that you're learning, it takes time. It takes time. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself. That is so important. There's only one you, right? You deserve to be patient with yourself. You have so much, you give patience and grace to everybody else, right? You're so patient for everybody else, but you can't have the same patience for yourself. Think about it, right? Self-compassion makes challenges easier to handle. You're not so hard on yourself. When you have compassion for yourself, you're patient, you're like, okay, this is okay. It's not that bad. You're doing better than you think. Give yourself grace today. Give yourself grace. You give everybody else grace. Give it to you. All right. And in closing, I told you this is going to be short and sweet, but impactful, right?
It is.
Your mental health matters. Taking small steps each day can make a big difference. Be kind to yourself, check in regularly, and remember you deserve care just as much as anyone else, right? You deserve care, just like your children deserve care. Your family deserves care. You do too. You do too. Start with one small act of self love today, right? And watch how it transforms your well being. Okay. And I want to, and I want to, that's me on there. And I want to, and I want you all to, hopefully, if you took notes,
Yeah.
just decide like one thing that you're going to do on this list, one thing that you're going to do and that you're going to do today.
Yeah.
Okay, I turn that to you. One thing that you're going to do today, whether it's drinking, make sure you're drinking that water today. Make sure you're not skipping the meals, doing the check-in. One thing, just choose one thing that you're going to start today.
No, that's key.
Then
No,
you'll
that's
be able
key.
to
That's
get.
key. Man, give our sister a round of applause. She dropped the mic on the head, man. Make sure y'all catch that. Make sure y'all catch that. Make sure y'all check in with the Empress Sharifa, man. She just literally just launched her Level Up with Care digital product. This was one of her free workshops she just gave y'all. We taking that to the next level with our lovepreneurship, with our lovepreneurship grants course. That's what brings us together, making sure that we're taking this to the next level, right? So she's gonna be an example of what it looks like to make sure that you put your love and your entrepreneurship together. Make sure you level up with care. Make sure you do this self-care checklist. Send this out to somebody that you know that needs this. Like, share, and subscribe if anything resonated with you. At least what resonated with me. Definitely the rest part. That's so key. Rest is so critical. Rest is so
Yes.
critical. A lot of times we are probably just sleep deprived, and the other one is dehydrated water. So those two would definitely resonated most. A lot of times it's you just first taking care of yourself, and then I like how you thought about it. When you see a lot of those issues coming together, then that's a reflection that something is going on. So being able to know your regular trends And even then, still just being able to do things to keep yourself in flow is important, especially to get through those periods and seasons of different, because again, life is peaks and valleys, right? In order to have the high moments, we have to experience the low moments. And so even though we are taught to train, taught to think that there are more low moments in life, if we truly take a step back, examine, and then also have perspective in life, have more experiences, we'll really appreciate the things we've gone through and realize, there's always things that could have gone worse or could have gone even just in our particular situation or in others' situations. So it's all about giving ourselves perspective and giving ourselves new ways to see life, because then that's also a way that you become a new person and just being able to keep growing and keep molding and keep maturing, because it's all about maturity, being able to handle the things that happen to you because it happened to you, right? If it didn't something that you didn't feel you needed to deal with, then it wouldn't even be a discussion, right? It wouldn't be something in your mind that would be holding you back from whatever is holding you back. And so this gets in the way of us taking our business to the next level. The emotional baggage that we uncheck or that we don't know is checked off. So we want to make sure that we're taking care of that. So make sure y'all check out that self care checklist. And I guess, which one would you say is your favorite, if you don't mind me asking?
The favorite on the checklist.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say the water, like drinking the water, because um I can tell. I can tell when I'm getting a little off, and I'm like, and I do ask myself, like, did you drink any water today? No, right? So once I drink the water, and even water is good. People, you don't use the bathroom regularly. It's because you're not drinking enough water. Now, if you're not using the bathroom regularly, that's affecting your whole body, and that's affecting your brain, your mind too. Not going to the bathroom regularly, right? So drinking that water, because that's like drinking the water is probably the easiest thing on the list, right? Just to make sure you're getting being hydrated. So probably that one, probably just staying hydrated, reminding myself, go get your water, drink your water. So yeah.
No, that's lit. That's lit. That's lit. And so now we're gonna transition over to the tax care checklist, right? So y'all just got that self care checklist. Now the next level of the lovepreneurship is now making sure you're taking care of your finances, right? Because before you can take care of your business, you gotta be able to take care of yourself, your mental, your aspect, right? So let's get into the tax care checklist. Make sure y'all writing these down. So number one, separate your business from your personal, right? You got to separate your business from your personal. Things you can do is set up a business bank account, track all business expenses, even the small ones like mileage, apps, and meals. And again, why are we asking this? What is the tax care checklist before we even begin, right? You got to make sure that you are having a checklist when you're taking care of your taxes, right? You got to be focused on what you need yearly. You got to know what you need to track. You got to know what you need to expend. You got to know what you need to deduct. You got to know what you need to credit. So in order to do that, you got to be able to separate your business from your personal. So track all business expenses, even the small ones, right? So use bookkeeping tools, QuickBooks, Waves, or spreadsheets. Why? Because this proves you're a legit business. Bigger deductions, higher refund, reduced liability, right? So number one, number two, know your entity type, right? So what entity are you? Like how are you really making the money, right? So you got to be able to know your entity type. Are you a sole proprietorship or an LLC, right? Because there's really three, really four different types, or usually the four different popular types that people pick a lot. S corp. Are you a LLC, or are you a nonprofit, right? Or a particular business? And so those are the things that you have to be able to choose early on, right? You got to be able to know which angle are you, because this then determines the way you'll be taxed and what you qualify for, right? So the tax game, S corps often reduce self-employment tax. Nonprofits with 501c3 avoid federal income tax, right? So you got to figure out ways to avoid your federal income tax, because this is also ways that you keep your money, right? So maximize your deductions. Number three, home office. Do you have a home office? Right. Right now we're speaking from our home office, right? You got to be this thing that you can deduct: internet, cell phone, partially deductible, right? Business coaching software, child assistance, deduct that too. So our Lovepreneurship grant course is something that you can deduct, right? So this is things that you got to be able to write down on a yearly basis. If it helps you earn income, it's likely qualifies, right? If it helps you earn incomes, it likely qualifies. So what else can you do? You can track mileage and travel, right? You can track mileage and travel, right? So use a mileage tracker, right? You can record data purpose. So right now, my sister right now is out there in Kenya. Make sure you're tracking mileage. We also do got to talk to you about doing some taxes for you too. So I know you got some expenses over in the states, so we can also do that for you as well. So you make sure you're tracking your different trips and expending those different trips from 2024, because those are things you can do to also to reduce your taxable income or tax liability, right? And which could then increase your refund depending on your situation. 1099s or W-2s, don't miss them, right? So that's number five, right? Know what counts as income, right? Know what counts as income. Grants, sponsorships, side gigs, cash apps equal income, right? So donation to your nonprofits tracked separately, right? So underreporting, red flag, right? Report it all, write off accordingly, right? So let's go through the five real quick. Separate business from personal, right? Two, know your entity type. Three, maximize your deductions. Four, know what counts as income. And five, know or number I'm sorry, number four, track mileage and travel. Five, know what counts as income, right? Number six, use tax advantage accounts, right? Self-employed, SEP IRA, so 401k, health saving account, life insurance, right? Different ways that you can get tax advantage accounts to take yourself to the next level. Wealthy people don't just earn, they shelter income legally. So figure out ways that you can shelter income legally as your trust, right? So set up your LLC as a trust is one way to shelter income legally, right? Seven, file early, breathe easier. So filing early reduces identity theft risk, gives you time to fix errors, gather documents, and strategize. So that I know we can close to that deadline or that lifeline. We won't say dead things, right? We say lifelines on 4/15 tax day, right? So make sure that y'all file before 4/15. If you're not filed before 4/15, it's going to be hard for you. So you got to make sure you file early. File early. Makes it much easier. Work with a tax professional. Book a tax consultation to review your life strategy, right? You got to book it. So that's number eight. Work with a tax. So work with a. I'm talking about the tax boss. You know what I'm saying? So ask, how can I reduce my liability, not just file. You feel me? So you need to prepare who speaks wealth, not just numbers, right? So you got to think about the long game. So you should already be thinking about your trust when you're thinking about your taxes. You should also be thinking about your nonprofit and how in which it's running your organization, because it allows you to basically write off a lot of different things as it relates to tax exempt status. So there's different levels to it. You can even start off on the more simple, simple non 501c3 status, 1023 easy, as opposed to just a 1023, which is the fuller, more robust one. A good example of that is ChatGPT. It was started as a nonprofit, and ultimately now that it's selling shares, it rolled into becoming an LLC. So very important things that we use in society have started off as nonprofits. So don't downplay your importance of being able to create a product still as a different form of business. So strategize your refund. Number nine, strategize your refund before it lands. So you got to use your refund wisely, right? Don't just use it on DoorDash. Don't just use it on Klarna, right? Start scaling your business. Start scaling your business. Pay off high interest debts, right? Invest in AI tools. Build your machines, business systems, self care, your automations. Get them together. Build emergency and investment funds, right? You got to build this up. So don't just blow the bag. Build with it, right? So this is key, right? So let me go through that nine tax care checklist. If y'all was here earlier, you already heard that self care checklist. So make sure y'all run this back. Like, share, subscribe. But what we saying makes sense. So let's get it again. Separate. Number one, separate business from personal. Number two, know your entity type. Number three, maximize your deductions. Number four, track mileage and travel. Number five, know what counts as income, right? Number six, use tax advantage accounts. Number seven, file early, breathe easier. You gotta breathe, baby. Work with a tax professional. You dig? A tax boss, the coolest one on the market. You dig? Number nine, strategize your refund before it lands. Strategize your refund before it lands. And you got to take yourself to the next level. And so we're just reading right off the course, our course page, the Lovepreneurship Grant Course. That's what I love what we do, because this is information that we try to hide. This is information that we have shared with our people. And we also want it to be accessible. But, our people pay attention when they pay for it. And so the same people saying they ain't got money just bought Beyonce tickets. And so we see you, we see you saying that you don't got funds to do this. but we also know that the truth matters, and the truth always comes out in the sense of who really supports you, and for us to start to realize that there are people out there that don't know you yet, but are ready to invest in you because you have the answer to their problems. And so we need to make it that simple. We need to continue to be the answer to people's problems and trust that the Most High will provide and has always provided and will continue to provide, as well as we continue to stay within the bounds, the rules, the regulations, the structures, the orders, and the systems that He's provided for us to be able to make our wealth, right? So we can, that what does that mean and what does that look like? We just can't make our money anyhow, right? Just because they doing it don't mean you got to do it, and so that's how we move our business. We put the Most High at the center of our business plan, and so everyone we work with, we encourage to do the same. Because too many young brothers are moving janky, right? They are going to South by Southwest, but not investing in their pregnant lady, and so they don't realize the issues that goes on in our community is because we've been trained to be immature, right? Because we're not doing the self-care checklist, we're not checking in on a regular. We are always thinking about self, this, self, and not realizing another game this enemy, this devil plays is we then become idols to ourselves, right? We then just become idols to ourselves. We just become our own God. And you can't be your own God, especially if you don't even know how you got here. You dig? And so we have to be able to take ourselves to the next level. You know what I'm saying? So we got to take ourselves to the next level and be able to recognize the truth and accept, and because all heads must bow and there's only one, right? And the most high. And so it's our job to be the best of ourselves. At the same time, recognize the duality in ourselves, right? It's very convenient that we blame the devil when something goes wrong, and then say it's the Most High when something goes right. So we can't look at it like that. The Most High created everything, so He had to also create that devil that you don't like. He did. So we have to be able to take the things to the next level and be real with the truth, right? And be able to overstand and give our Most High the true power, because that would be giving our Most High power. Because if you're saying bad things happen every time the devil did it, you're giving the devil more power than you really realize. And you need to stop doing that. You need to give yourself the Most High the power, right? Because he's working through you, right? Again, we're asking people to clean things up, but that's what He sent you for. You did, through your business, through your products, through your works, through your focus, right? And so we're asking for things to happen, but you're the one to make it happen, is the disconnect. And so we just have to start tapping into that reality, that lovepreneurship, that self-care, that tax care. And so before we close out, give them the self-care checklist one more time, and then I'm gonna give them the tax care, and then we're gonna close out.
Okay. All
And really, while
right.
you're doing that, I'm gonna just do the tax care first, and then you're gonna end on it.
Okay.
And on your self care. So again, just because we just mentioned it, make sure y'all writing down these, because these are going to take y'all to the next level, especially as it relates to your taxes. Make sure you book consultation, level up with care, because she's going to take your self care to the next level. She's one of our lovepreneurship coaches, so you can work with her for one of your calls as well. So number one, separate business from personal. Number two, know your entity type. Number three, maximize your deductions. Number four, track mileage and travel. Number five, know what counts as income. Number six, use tax advantaged accounts. Number seven, file early. Breathe easier. Y'all gotta breathe, baby. Eight, work with a tax professional, a tax boss. You know what I'm talking about. Number nine, strategize your refund before it lands. You know what I mean? So don't just blow the bag. This is the most important one. Start, scale your business. Use that refund to scale your business. Pay off high interest debts. Invest in AI tools, business systems. Build emergency and investment funds. Don't blow the bag. Build with it. And with that, sister, tell them that self-care checklist.
All right. So here's the self care checklist. First thing, how are you feeling? Check in with yourself. Okay. Did you get any rest? Make sure you're getting some sleep. Have you eaten yet? Don't skip those meals. Have you drank any water today? We talk about dehydration. It can cause headaches, tiredness, brain fog, right? Make sure you're getting your water. Have you taken care of your personal hygiene today? This is a part of self-care, self-love, maintaining good hygiene. Have you talked to anyone today? Connection is important. Okay. Have you been outside today connecting with nature? It's very important. You don't have to hug a tree like me, but just being outside and just being aware of nature, right? Looking up in those clouds. Are you being patient with yourself? And that's probably the number one. That's probably the number one. Then the water, right? For me. Are you being patient with yourself? This is not a 5K, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Okay. It's a journey.
That's so good. Amen, amen, man. Drop that mic again for my sister, man. She doing that thing right there. Make sure y'all pay attention, man, because these are things that's gonna take your business to the next level. Man, it's so beautiful. We just started a whole business, or rekindled her business, right before this, because this is something that we love to do, just to infuse the courage, the confidence of what we call it. You know what I'm talking about? The Elohim did this, right? We want to take people to the next level and realize that we get to create, whether it's these words, whether it's this business, we get to create the solutions to our problems every day, and we're the living solution to many other people's problem, right? And so it just starts with us keeping molding ourselves, keep cutting ourselves like a mason, you dig? Because we got to be able to get there. We got to be able to get there. We got to show them we cut right. You feel me? It's no accident they talk about structures under the pyramids in this day and time, because when they need new technology, they know who they got to go back to. They know who they got to start trying to dig up under. Y'all telling me, yo, it's a scam. Nah, y'all already under there, talking about
Right.
scams. Man, don't believe them. Man, y'all already knew it was there. They just telling the people now, you know. So come on, man. This is the game. This is the play. And so just start to overstand, ask more questions, get out there really and research, figure out what they are doing out there, 'Cause this is the
Mm.
key. And what we are seeing is, because we're gonna build a team out there to start to figure that out, right? Because there's also pyramids in Kenya, there's pyramids throughout, or what we used to call the mound builders, So it just looks like dirts of mounds, but if you really look at them, these are all pyramid structures, or once pyramid structures, a lot of times buried over or eroded by weather. But if you really dig under, you'll see it's much bigger and much more structures than you can even imagine. A lot of stuff is just either covered or a lot of stuff just covered more so even just the sea depth, because how we know that to be true is if the depth of the sea is so much deeper, the land can also travel that low too. So inner earth to hollow earth theory. So different things, so different ways once you also get to a certain depth that you can actually get to another side, So these are the things that are starting to come out more and more that we have been saying, that Nuwapu has been saying, that brother Dr. Malachi Z. York has been saying,
All
and so we
right.
have to tap in to the truth. Free my brother, free the master teacher, right? Y'all got to
Mm.
be able to actually be the real, and also appreciate the works and also respect the family. We got our sister Uma out here doing more of the royal works in terms of even just keeping the legacy alive, as well as also keeping on the positivity. And so we got to watch that, right? Because it's always what the enemy wants to do is turn the family against themselves, inward and on themselves. And we have to be able to protect ourselves, protect our people, because they're an example of us. And when it's our turn to do the things, how we have to be able to navigate the waters, right? Because they don't want you to speak up for your people. They don't want you to represent. They don't want you to be proudful. They don't want you to level up with care. You feel me? And you have to do all those things, you feel me, unapologetically, right? Because that is how we grow. That is how we get better. Speaking testament to power, being able to be powerful openly, because the best place to hide is in plain sight, baby. You did. Talking the truth openly is where they never expect you to be. It's just a reality, right? They expect you to be scared. They expect you to never have the confidence to keep posting live when zero people show up. You still got to keep showing up for yourself, right? You got to keep showing up for yourself. That's the key. So this is all practice because someone always shows up, you know? Someone always shows up. And the people that need to hear this, they get that little nugget that they need. They send that little email that they need. Because again, the two things that's going to take your business to the next level is email marketing and SMS marketing. So we starting our campaigns today. Y'all gonna get tired of our AI machines, man, because we putting them on 100,000%. You know what I'm saying? We put them on 1,000%. They sending everything out. You feel me? So be on the lookout because this is the iRobot season. You know what I mean? It's really already here. So y'all got to make sure that you are building your machines or be left in the dust, right? Because it's more what we're seeing. They're automating processes. So if you're not automating process for your business and giving yourself more time, then it's going to be hard to self-care. It's going to be hard to tax care. It's going to be hard to take care of yourself, your family, the things that you love. So put your lovepreneurship together and do the right thing by you, yourself, and your family because they need you to do this thing. All right. So do it and stay focused on the mission. Do you have anything to close us out with, sister?
And well, first, I just want to say that you can find me. I have a YouTube channel at Ms. BJ Martin, MS BJ Martin. You can see, just hear about more what I talk about, how I talk about mental health. I talk about so many things on my channel. I have music on there. So my YouTube channel is MS BJ Martin. My Instagram is the Empress __ Sharifa, the Empress, EMPRESS _ SHARIFA. And my email is levelupwithcare@gmail.com. If you have any questions, just want to reach out to me, find out more about what we have in store, email me. It's levelupwithcare@gmail.com. And like I always do when I'm leaving, I'm leaving my videos, whatever. Just want you to remember that just like the sun, you are necessary. And I love y'all.
Amen, amen, amen. And on that note, we're closing out. We love you. Keep it up. Lovepreneurship. Yay.